Welcome back to day 3 of the Absolute Dummies Guide to Restoring Your Vintage Oil Rain Lamp. Now in the last video, you may have left off thinking that we were done. However, while my lamp is currently functional, you may remember that the wires on my lamp were pretty old and had some weird soldered together spots on them. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I replaced the power cord. Quick disclaimer, I'm not an electrician or a professional of any sort, so do your own research and use your best judgment when doing projects like this. To get started, I purchased this 15-foot swag light replacement kit, but if you don't need the hardware, you can just buy the wiring. An additional step that you may or may not have to do depending on where you're at in your restoration process is draining out all of the oil. Last week, I wanted to test my motor to make sure that I didn't need to order a new one, but now my lamp is all lubed up. Again, just take the cap nuts off to remove the bottom portion, and I drained out my oil into this deli cup. I don't even know, is there a special way that you're supposed to dispose of something like baby oil? Oh, and also if you do need to buy a replacement motor, just Google search oil rain lamp replacement parts and a whole bunch of different shops will pop up. Now that the oil is no longer sloshing around inside, I'm going to take apart the top of the lamp again. As always, I recommend before you start taking things apart, just take a quick video of yourself of how they're currently put together so that you have a little bit of a map for yourself in case you forget. My wires are held inside this black box specifically, and on my model there's going to be 3 different wire leads. The gold one is for the power, the white one is for the light socket, and the black one is for the motor. Unwind the wires on both sides, and once everything is detached, just start pulling your golden power wire through the top of the lamp. Finally, remove it from the hook on the top, and that crusty dusty wire is all gone. From here, we're basically just going to work in reverse. My wiring already has the copper wire exposed, but if yours doesn't, you can use one of those wire cutters or removers or whatever they're called to remove the outer plastic casing. Now, once the wire was strung all the way back through the lamp, one piece I did get kind of hung up on was if one of these sides of the wires was a negative versus a positive. Some of you guys had mentioned this in the comments and said that if I wired it backwards that my motor was going to spin in the opposite direction. Not sure if you guys were fucking with me, but I couldn't find anything that indicated if one side was a positive or a negative, so I just guessed and hoped for the best. From there, I retwisted the wires back together and put these caps back on. Should have mentioned this sooner, but make sure that you put a knot on the top of your wire so that it doesn't just pull right back through of the top of the lamp. Finally, screw everything back together. Finally, moment of truth, and everything seems to be working. This was the part of the project I was the most nervous about, but it was quite literally the quickest and easiest part. The last thing I need to do is figure out how to use this toggle bolt assembly. I've never tried one of these before, but I do know the lamp's pretty heavy, and I don't think where I'm planning on hanging it that it has a beam in the ceiling. But at least this crusty wire is finally gone, so come back for what is probably going to be our last video on restoring our vintage oil rain lamp.